1140 The Fan. Talkin Money.
The action continues now with Talkin Money and Jeff Tarbell.
Boy. How you doing? Gotta love this show. Some of these texts, I'm going to have to write a book someday on some of the texts that come in, but I am not referring to any porcelain milkshake texts anywhere. I have not heard that term.
Apparently, is really good at those.
Hold on, let me turn Ryan's microphone back there.
Apparently, somebody's uncle.
Yeah,
Somebody's uncle is very good at mixing up some porcelain milkshakes.
I have not heard that term before, but apparently that ruins the new home smell too. So we will. This show is going right down the tubes here quickly. I am going to do this here real quick. We got a couple people on hold. We'll get to you, I promise, at 339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. You can text me at 441140. We did get a quiz winner. The motherboard of an original Apple computer, along with a monitor and keyboard, sold for $374,500 at a rare auction Friday, more than double the price expected. The slim green board of circuitry was built by Apple Inc.'s co-founder Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. It was the brains of what became the first ready-made personal computer, the Apple I in '76. There are fewer than 50 of these in the world, and only 6 in working condition. The buyer was anonymous. You could have picked that up for $667. That'd have been a good return on your money had you bought one of those and put it in a box and could have sent your kid to a nice college there. So there you go. The Apple computer, the original Apple computer, $374,000. Probably was Wozniak. Why wouldn't they want to buy that back? I don't know. That's weird. We got a couple people on hold. Let's see if we can get to a couple calls here real quick. We are Jeff Pemstein with RCH Group is here. He is our new home builder. We're going to answer all your calls and questions and make your dreams come true with your new house there. Hey, Harry, how you doing?
Jeffrey, I got the answer, but I've never used a computer. Can you believe that?
No, yes, I can believe that. And what was your answer? You had the Apple computer, huh?
Question, not an answer.
Okay. You had a building question. What's happening, Harry?
Okay, I bought a lot contiguous to where I live up here in Nevada City at 3,200 feet, 4 acres overlooking the Sierra, and it was in foreclosure. The person had paid $335 for it in '07. I got it from the bank at $107,000 last fall.
Ooh, nice buy. Okay.
And I had it cleared, so it's been deforested. It's got interesting topography, but what I'd like to do, we have homeowners association, and the minimum build out is 2,200 feet. I'd like to build a structure that has a musical amphitheater, and then maybe two bedrooms, 2 baths, kitchen, a really nice kitchen. In fact, I kid my neighbors up here and say, well, I want to build a Benihana type stove and kitchen and have a helicopter drop live lobster every Friday evening onto the stove. So I'm trying to get my homeowners' neighbors to go along with my ideas. But I wanted to ask your guest, Jeff, if for 2,200 square feet on the topography that we have here, actually I'm up on the top of the ridge, so it's flat, but I just wondered what kind of an estimate on cost per square foot to build right now.
Well, you sound like you're trying to build one heck of a facility up there.
First of all, I'm going to start partying with Harry.
Yeah, Harry's going to be a good time.
Hot house, Jeff.
Yeah, Harry's going to have a live concerts and live lobster, so I know where we're going to be on Saturday. So, hey, Jeff, build him something nice, would you please? And
yeah, I mean, gosh, 300-400 square foot, the bucks a square foot. I mean, that's you're easily
300 or 400.
Oh yeah, for what you're talking about.
Wow, ouch.
Yeah, ouch.
Yeah. Holy Moses.
And the problem you run into, Harry, is that you get and Harry, I'm gonna put Harry back on hold so he can listen up there because I'm not sure.
Before you put
yes, go ahead.
Ask him what in order to do a blueprint of what I want to build. Who do I go through? An architect, or does Jeff do that?
No. Jeff's company. I'll put you back on hold there, Harry. He's getting some. Jeff's company is more of a production. I don't want to use it for production, but a regular builder. Not you guys aren't doing a one-off type of a.
No. We're a production home builder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what Harry needs to find is someone who can take his dream in his mind and put it on paper. A good architect, he's probably getting an engineer up there. There's some good ones up in Nevada City. Engineering does some stuff up there, and they're a good group. So
very good.
But the problem you run. So that's a great call, because if you have the money to do what you want to do, there's no problem. The problem becomes when you start trying to design something that is a smaller, and it doesn't. It's not necessarily a size issue, but you start designing. So Harry has a very specific need. He doesn't want a big house. He wants a very high-end house. He wants something that's unusual. All these kind of things too. So you've got to find someone who, to build it for you, and that's going to be on the higher end of cost because he wants a Benihana kitchen and he wants all these type of things too. But B, at some point, unless you're paying cash for it or a boatload of cash down, you've got to come to a lender and say, hey, I want to finance this.
Right.
And the lender's going to say, well, let me see your plans and let me see your bid from the builder. And they're going to hand it over to an appraiser, or Ryan over here, and they're going to go, hey, Ryan, appraise this place for me, will you? It sits up on top of 4 acres that's been deforested, and he's going to build a roundhouse, Benihana kitchen-style house that's small, and the appraisers are going to look at this and go, what in the hell are you talking about? I can't find this anywhere. Because this is Harry's dream in his mind. And if Harry has enough money, Harry can build whatever he wants to build. But the lending community is going to look at this and say, the appraiser is going to come back and say, if you happen to get this house back, this is, we all might want to own it. And we all might want to go to Harry's parties and be there. But if we have to put it on the market and sell it for it, I don't know what you're going to get. Because instead of looking at 100 potential candidates for this house, we may only have 2, Harry and his brother. Because they're the only ones that want to live in a curved dome, curved house with this kind of kitchen. So you start looking at these unique type of places, and the same thing goes with, you remember the old dome houses, and I've got clients that come to me that want to build out of compressed straw because it's incredible. And these are all great ideas. In fact, this is how we're going to get to the next level of building with different things. Is someone's got to try. Someone had to buy the first Apple computer so I can have the little one on my phone, right? Mm-hmm. So someone's going to have to try these construction techniques. The problem is when it comes to financing them, is the lenders don't want to be out there with the pink elephant,
right?
In financing these things. So you have to kind of keep that in mind, that all the lending community cares about is, how do I get my money back? That's it. I don't care that this is the coolest place ever. I definitely want to come and bring my margarita machine. I want to party. I want to have a live lobster, but I don't want to loan you the money on it, because if I have to get this thing back, it scares the hell out of me. And I say me, meaning the industry, and you can attest to it. You guys are out building lots of homes, and you're not building these crazy one-off type of things that someone comes in and says, draws it on paper and make this from. You're building something that can be sold to the mass public, and that's what the lending community wants. So question. Hold on a second. Go ahead.
Now, for somebody like Harry, is it cheaper to build now? I mean, in a market like this, is he going to get a great value in building it, or is it affected?
I wish I could tell you that materials and construction prices have come down dramatically. They actually haven't.
No.
Okay.
They're actually stable, or in many respects going up.
There's a little group of people in China called the Chinese.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
That buy up everything.
Yep.
And they buy up our raw materials, and they get sent over there. And so that has put a tremendous pressure on the raw material things, where you might pick up a little savings. And Jeff will correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe labor's a little cheaper. Maybe it's not any cheaper, but maybe now you're getting the really best plumber there is.
That's right.
And because before, the best plumber was super busy and he was doing his own thing, so you get the third best plumber who happened to show up if he would show up.
Right.
And now you're getting guys that are still in the industry, barely, or made it through, but they're really, really good. And they may not have lowered their prices a lot, but what you're getting, the value is you're getting some phenomenal craftsmanship for the money.
Absolutely.
So, I think that's some of the things you see. I think the stuff that, Jeff, we're going to take another break in a few minutes, but I want to talk about when we come back, is all of the unknowns that people don't have any idea about. When you sign up and you want to buy a new home, and you say, Jesus, I'd like to have a new home for $200,000. Believe me when I say the builder would love to deliver you a home for $200,000. And if it was just up to them in terms of land cost, construction cost, and their profit, they could probably deliver you a $200,000 house. But there's a few other people that have their fingers stuck in the pie. And we'll talk about that when we come back. I say this all the time. I started in my career at about 20 years old. Actually, I was born into the development business. My dad was a developer, so all my life I've been running around construction projects and stuff. So it's just something that I grew up doing. But when I started doing it as a profession at 20 and 21 years old, and up for the first 5 or 6 years, a land developer was looked at right next to the East Area Rapist and the Ponzi scheme guy and your uncle with a porcelain milkshake. I mean, he was the worst individual on the face of the earth when you go into any community to try to create lots. And now, after I got out of that business full time, and I started actually building some homes and I did more stuff in the manufactured world up in the counties because I could do 100% financing for homes. So I would do some high-end manufactured homes. If I put a house on there and sold it to a young first-time home buyer, I was a genius. This is the greatest thing ever. You're creating such a nice world for these people. This is so awesome. And I look at people and say, well, how on earth do you think that lot got there? Because 2 years ago, I was an a-hole because I was taking 10 acres and creating 4 2.5-acre lots. Now that I'm putting a house on the 2.5-acre lot and putting a young first-time buyer in there, I'm God's gift to first-time buyers. How do you think that happens? I mean, I never understood the lack of just the lack of general knowledge on how do you think a lot becomes a lot. You think we just woke up someday and a guy with a D8 cat was pushing dirt around and that just happened? It's ridiculous.
That's a great question.
And then you go from the lot to the house and then the county says, "Well, boy, we're just there's no building going on, and yet our fees over here are $70,000 to $100,000, and we'll talk about that. I hope you don't want public water. That's going to be another 30. These are the things that go on, and we'll talk about that as well. So we got to take another quick break. I do have another quiz question for you. In the city of Middleborough, Massachusetts, you will now be fined $25 for doing this, and it goes into the county's general fund. And I would frankly probably be broke if this happened in our area. So you're now going to be fined, publicly fined $20 civil ticket to anybody who publicly does this in Middleborough, Massachusetts. What is the new law and what is the violation? And this is why I would be out of money and be working on the streets in a van down by the river. So if you know the answer to that, 339-1140. You can text us at 441140. I think Harry needs to start buying a. That one's all messed up. I'll have to read that one during the break. This is Talkin Money. We'll be right back.